Hello and welcome to Crafting with Jane. Today I'm going to be using up some of these papers. You know, I say that when I've got bits over, I always sort of just like do what I call mucky background and things. So I've got some that I really just want to use up. These sorts of ones I'm going to keep because I've already cut them into card sizes. But I want to do something with these ones. And so I've just got a piece of 300 GSM cardstock, and I'm going to do something with this that I can then use at a later date. So I'm literally just going to tear this across. It's funny, isn't it? It's coming out in where it's been painted. It's not... that'll do. We'll have one like that. We'll have, just get a few of them. We'll have one like that, and we'll have one down on the bottom. Because it doesn't really matter how it's sort of going to tear. You can see it's tearing lighter and smaller on there. That's fine on there. I'm going to tear these ones up as well. These might go slightly differently if I do it this way, because they've got so much paint and stuff on. That's better. They're tearing better. Now I could use the tearing ruler, but I'm trying to do this sort of fairly quickly so it doesn't take too much time, because we're doing other bits with it, and I'll have this one sort of at the bottom, I think. Okay, so the idea is we're going to take some, let me just get some glue out. I'm going to use some Slap It On. I'm going to have to get some more of this because I use it a lot, and I've just realised that I'm sort of running out a bit. So I'm just going to put some on like that. I will need to get some more, and then I just want a paintbrush, so I'm going to use one like this, and all I want to do is to just put the glue on here, and then this can be stuck up on the top, and I want to try and get it so it goes virtually right the way across the top. And then I can just take this in, and with a bit of luck. The good thing about this Slap It On is that once it's glued on one side and the other, you don't get wrinkles and things like that with it, which is good. So you do need to make sure you've glued it though. So let me just make sure that I've got this. I don't know whether I put enough glue in on the top here. So I'm just working that glue in. Then when I put this in on top, it's not going to wrinkle up. Okay, so that's that one. Now obviously we've got quite a lot of paper in. Now the next bit I'm going to do is I want to have some book pages and things across. So I'm just going to tear out a whole section. I need to make sure that it's actually in. This is an old book, which you can see is very old, that actually had lost all its spine and covers and things, so was literally just going to be disposed of at the charity shop. So I was able to get, and it doesn't matter that the words are not going to be the right way round, because we're not worried about that bit. It's going to be just going on to give the start of this background, and you can use whatever color combination and things you want. I'm using this because this is what I've got. So I'm just going to put this in on here, and then we can take this and just glue this in over on the top. and I need just a little piece in on the side on here, so I'm just going to do it this way, and we'll put another piece in like, might have to take a few pieces like this. And we'll put this bit in there. That just comes in over the top, which is quite nice. Then I can get my next piece of this. I can take that piece off actually. Makes it just a little bit thinner. I'm trying to use a reasonable amount of glue, particularly around the edges. I can put this bit in over the top like this. Oops, to make sure that it's actually, that's better. I want to make sure that it covers every part up. And then we're doing this. I'm quite enjoying doing some of this mixed media things and using what we've got, you know, what we've been playing around with over the past sort of weeks and things. And this is going to be fine like that, because the other bit's going to be, I know it's a flat edge, but that doesn't matter because the rough edges are going to be coming through on both sides of this. So I'm literally just painting, covering this bit with glue, and we'll put this bit in on top like this, so that can come there. So we've got the colour, and then we've got this nice book page. Let's put this one this way. Tear it off there. I might put the other bit down in on here. Like that. Cover that one, and we've got another one of these. And you can see how you do use quite a bit of this glue, but this glue does dry absolutely perfectly. It's probably some of the best glue for, you know, most people turn around and go, oh, PVA, 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 and PVA, Mod Podge and all of that lot. They're very good, and I've used them, but having used this Slap It On, I don't know what they put in it, but it is better than the Mod Podge, in my opinion. And again, I'm no expert, so just put some more on here. But I have been using rather a lot of it, so I need to get myself some more supplies. But once it's down, you can just put it over the top, and it comes out really rather nicely and very smooth. And you don't get the sort of the bobbles and stuff that you would get. Now it looks as if it's a little bit bobbly in some parts here, but as the glue dries on the bottom and the top, it comes a lot better. It becomes a lot better, if you see what I mean. So I'm just going to take this one, quite a wide piece on here. Let's put this. I might have it that way actually. Quite nice, isn't it? So, and as I say, you know, I don't edit, so if you want to speed forward, just speed forward. I do it real time because that's me. I haven't got time to do lots of editing, and I know quite a few of my subscribers actually like to see how long it's going to take, so they like to watch it as real time. So I tend to do it as real time because then that is it's literally as it goes. So take this bit up like this, and then we're going to have another piece that's going to come like this on the end. Now I can trim down these edges, which is what I will do, because I don't know what card size or project size I'm going to be using. So that's why I want to have this that way, don't we? No, we don't. We want to have it that way. That way. I'm just looking to see from on the sides of this, but this is fine. I've got a little bit of space there, haven't I? I need to take a little piece that's going to go. Whoops, sorry, I'm not looking at the camera. I've got glasses on my head. I always do that when I'm looking too close, don't I? So I'm just going to take that piece and put that over the top of there, because I quite like that. And then I'm just going to have a little tiny piece in on here. That'll do. Okay, and I think we only need to have maybe one more. In fact, maybe that one will just go in down the bottom. I think it will actually. So let's just take this one. Quite a lot of glue on here, but that's fine. So I need to just cover it up a bit. Do this side. Like this, then I can pop this one down on the bottom. And as I say, these have all come from what I call mucky papers. So as I'm finishing a project and I've got some paint over, I just take, and I've shown you this a few times, I literally just take some come on, just a little bit more, that's it. I just take some paper and whatever ink I've got left on my palette paper, wherever I've got it, all I do is I just turn round and smoosh the paper over the top, or brayer it, or whatever I'm doing at the time. I just make sure that I've used those pieces up. So we're just going to have a little piece in here, I think, won't we? Let's put that in like that. I can just take that bit off the edge. We just need a tiny little bit on here, don't we? Let's put that in like that. There we go. Still got a little hole there. Don't like having little holes, so it's quite good to just have little bits of paper coming through on here. Just want to make sure that it's all looks quite nice in strips across, which it does. Okay, so I can now put this glue back. The nice thing with this is that you can take the top off like this. You can then take your glue that you haven't used and you can put it straight back in the pot, and it will then have to put it down so it doesn't get bubbles in. Whoops, didn't get where it should have done, should it? But it means you'd waste absolutely nothing. It dries completely clear, which is good. And as I say, I really just enjoy using it. It's a great glue to use. So it's called Slap It On Matte, and you know it's not it works like a PVA, but it's a lot stronger, and is great for these sorts of collage things. So I'm literally just using what I've got left on here to just make sure my seal bits are. Now what I would normally do with this is, and it's going to the wash, is I would leave it to dry, but because I am trying to do this and do the whole sort of project for you, I'm literally just trying to dry some of it over the top, so we can work on the next bit. So I'm just turning, and you can use this whatever side you want actually. So I'm just sort of giving it a little bit of a dry off. Okay, it's not completely dry, but it should be all right to do what we're doing. Now I'm going to take my Posca pens, and we are going to make it look like one complete piece. So what I want to do is I just want to do just a line down through on here. Do it round on there a bit. And just across. I'm going to do it on here. I can feel it's still a bit wet, but it should be okay for just so you can just see what I'm doing. So I'm literally just going round the edge of each one of these, because then it's starting to give it a little bit of definition. And Posca pens are quite good for doing that. I'm only going to do half of it because it does need to be dried a little bit longer, but it'll be fine. Okay, so I've done that bit. Now what I want to do is I want to do some patterning and stuff on it. So I'm going to turn it round this way, only because it's actually easier to see. And on here, I'm just going to do some scallops like this. In fact, I might actually get the thicker ones for this. Let me have a look and see. I've got a black one which is thicker, and that will probably work a little bit better for this. So this is almost like doing your Zentangling. So I'm just going to take this across like this. All the way across to one side, like that. And then on this piece here, I'm just going to do it with the thicker pen actually, because I quite like it with the thicker pen. It looks better. Do that on there. And we were going to do this one in on here. Cross, and we'll do this one here again. Okay, and then we can take on here. So for example, we can take this across like that. And then we can have I'm just making sure that bit's dried before I get my hand on. We can have that coming over every other one. Okay. So if I turn it round so you can see it from here, you can start to sort of see the patterning and stuff coming in on here. Now, what I can do as well is we can use some other colours in here. Now I've got some white, so what I can do is I can take some white on here, and we can take some white in on the centre of each one of these, like that. And what I might do is to do some white dots and things in on here before they dry off. And then up in on here on this paper bit, I can do something else on here. So I might do, for example, I could do just some circles. So just some little circles like this. Because the idea is that by the time you've finished, it all sort of joins in together. Okay, so that can come in like that on that one. Then what I can do is I can add some more little bits and pieces in. So I can actually take some brighter colours. Let me have a look and see what I've got in here. So let me take, I think blue might work quite well. Blue and pink, or maybe red or green. Blue, I think. Let's take this blue. Okay, and then on this one, I'm going to take, I'm just going to go and see if I can go around the edges of these like this. And as I say, there's no sort of rhyme or reason to this. It's just making an interesting background. Put that on there. Take that up this way. Quite like that blue on there. I think that blue looks quite nice. Now what I could do in on here is to take, want this to dry a bit, I'm going to take some more blue lines in on here. So I'm just bringing these across like that. I could take some more of these little dots in here, so we've got some blue ones as well, just on this bit, so you can see how you can sort of start building it up. Then one of my favorite things to do is to take, and as I say, I would cover the whole thing, is I'm going to take some of this. Now I've got to work out what color I'm going to have it in. I think, do I want black? Do I want white? Do I want, I think I probably want, and I don't know whether I've got any, oh, I've got a little bit. Let's see how much I've got. I want a little bit of black. So I'm just going to put this on here. This is just some ordinary acrylic, and I haven't got very much of it. So I just need to get out. You can get these sorts of little tubs of acrylic for, you know, just sort of like £1 or whatever. And they're ones that you're going to use just for splatters and stuff. So you don't need to, you know, spend a lot of money on them. They're literally, you can get them in the, whoops, most of the, that's a bit too much. Most of the, you know, art shops and things, and you don't need very much at all. So all I'm going to do is just add some water to this and just take a little bit of it in. Like this. I've got too much on there, but that's fine. So on this, I'm just literally just going to, can you see how you're getting quite nice big splatters on there? I have to be careful because I end up splattering it everywhere. I could do with really having a little box, couldn't I, to put it in, because I end up with it everywhere. So I'm going to turn it round a bit so we can just see the nice sort of bits on here. Getting everywhere but where I want it on the paper. There we go. So we've got some nice sort of splattery bits going on like this. Just get a bit of, I've got splatters everywhere. We need enough water on this that it, when you pick it up, it goes, that's better. And I can put it down on this bit as well before we get into, can you see how lovely those splats and things are starting to come? So they're really sort of building up the background on there, which is quite nice. So that's sort of starting to come together on here. I could just put, can I put some, am I going to put some, I've got some black on here now, you see, and I'm wanting to do something with this black. I am just going to cover this up a bit while I've got it, because I quite like that in there. And I will turn around and show you what I'm going to do with this. I know I said I was going to do this with the a couple of the other papers, but that we've made, and I am going to show you different sort of projects and things with it. I just wanted to show you the process first, because this is a bit that sort of takes the time, because you have to let it all sort of dry in between. Okay, so that's fine like that. I can then put that away. Now, of course, I've got all this black left over, haven't I? So what am I going to do? I'm going to take a piece of, I've got a piece of card on here. I've got a little bit of card on here, and I'm literally just going to use it up with this. So I'm literally just covering this with the black, and then when it dries I can then use it for whatever, because I don't like wasting anything, as you know. So if I just take this across, put a bit more water on here because it will blend through, and then I've just got something with some black on that if I want to cut some silhouettes or whatever out of, I can do. As I say, don't ever think about wasting things, because you know, it's a great idea for, that's actually got a bit that's hard to take that out. I turned around and said that this paint was getting to its end, so that can go on there. But this bit that's here, I just want to use this up, and I'm just going to, as I say, put it on here, and this can be used for some silhouettes cut out with some dies or whatever quite easily, and you just haven't wasted it. And this again is just half a scrap of paper that I happen to have, so I'm just trying to do it sort of smoothly on here. There we go. So that again is something that I won't waste. So I'll just put that to one side to dry. Let's bring this one back in. So you can see on here we've started getting some patterning and things like that in. Once this is dried, I will probably do some stenciling on this half to just add something in there. And then when I cut it down, it's ready to go either for a tag base or for all sorts of other things, but it gives you a way of using up some of the papers that you don't necessarily want to have lying about all the time. So I hope you found that interesting. As always, please stay safe and well. Please be kind, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye bye.